Okay, great. Okay. Well, thank you guys for being here. I don't mind teaching this to one person or many people. I want to start by letting you know that I am a constant contact solution provider. I'm certified to represent them, and it basically means that I've used them for years. It means that I have kept up annually with certification with them, which really involves, it's not an easy test. You have to go over the materials every year because they come out with new features and new ways of doing things. So the certification, I mean, it's not overly difficult, but you wouldn't be able to guess your way through it. And I like it because it gives me a refresher every year anyway, in case I have missed anything. So as someone who's involved with marketing, I use this for my customers and myself. But it's easy enough for any business owner to use it if they have the time to learn the system and to create their emails. So I work both as a coach of Constant Contact. I use Constant Contact, and sometimes I'm hired to actually do the Constant Contact email programs for my clients. There are lots of other email programs out there. I prefer Constant Contact because they were like the groundbreakers with this many years ago, and they've worked very hard to maintain their, I want to call it reputation, and I don't mean that by customers reviews and things like that. What I mean is more of a technology reputation. Email servers in businesses and organizations and in networks recognize Constant Contact and recognize that Constant Contact is very strict on spamming. It's probably the least used for spam. And what they'll do, and unfortunately I did have a client that this happened to, if you were to, for instance, purchase an email list or download all your over 500 LinkedIn, if they even let you do that anymore, but they used to let you download email addresses for all of those contacts and just load it in and create your Constant Contact list that way. You're bound to get people labeling you as spam. They'll opt out, which is fine, but Constant Contact gives them a little survey that says, why are you opting out? And if they say, I never asked for these emails, it's spam. If Constant Contact sees even a small percentage of that happen, once in a while is fine, but even 10 from one email could cause Constant Contact to shut you off, remove your account, and never let you get back on again. So because they've been so strict that way, their emails, people that use their system and go through their server, very rarely will get labeled as spam. And so you have a greater chance of your emails, if you use Constant Contact, reaching mailboxes rather than going into a spam folder, even if the person accepts the email. So it's got that, from that point of view, its reputation is very good. But this presentation today is not necessarily to sell you Constant Contact. I will tell you there are some offers at the end that are specific to Constant Contact, but what I'm going to go over today really is in more general email marketing. So if you have another system that you're using or that you'd prefer to use, what you're going to learn here should apply to any system you're using. Do you guys mind? I think chat is open. Do you mind putting in chat whether you are using an official email marketing? Let me see. Yeah, it should be working. If you're using Constant Contact or MailChimp or any others, HubSpot has one. I'm sure there's others out there, MailChimp. Okay. And Constant Contact, right? The Chamber of Commerce uses Constant Contact. So again, you'll probably be able to apply some of the principles we go over here to whatever system you're using. So I am now going to start sharing my screen. And if you have any questions and want to interrupt me during it, go ahead and unmute yourself. There's only a handful of us. So it can be like we're sitting in a room around a table. I'm fine with that. Okay. Actually, though, you will need to speak up because I just hit all your faces. So just shout out. All right. So the name of this presentation, and much of it is drawn from Constant Contact, is Email Marketing Quick Start. So we're going to go over the different factors that you need to consider with your email. So first is a little bit of reasoning backup as to why email marketing is relevant. The first note is what is the #1 app on smartphones? And that is, of course, email. And more than half of all emails are opened on a mobile device. Now, depending on who you're targeting your email to, you might find differences in what device they're using. And Constant Contact will give you reportings telling you 50% of recipients opened it on mobile versus 50% on desktop. So you can get some of that statistical information. I happen to have a client that where police officers are part of their group, and they do have a higher rate than some others of something being opened on a smartphone. Okay, now HubSpot is another resource that I'm a fan of. HubSpot, and let me ask you again in chat, or raise your hand or shout out. Are you guys familiar with HubSpot? No, okay. So HubSpot is it's a great just go ahead and Google it and sign up for their newsletters. They're probably the largest curators of marketing information. They do the research. They have blogs and templates and just so much free help for the self-marketer and marketing professionals. And so for me to have gone out and tried to dig up email statistics and vet it all, if I'm reading from a bunch of sources, that wouldn't be worth my time or yours. So, but HubSpot is recognized as a leading authority. So I recommend. There's so many. They do have a free platform. It's a little more geared towards there's marketing involved and sales tracking and things like that. I haven't used their free platform, but depending on your business, you may find it helpful. But if nothing else, use them for the content that they put out. It's excellent. So these notes are from HubSpot, from a recent blog, so it is current information. And you can see there's 4 billion daily email users. 64% of small businesses use email marketing to reach their customers. However, nearly 1 in 5 email campaigns is not optimized for mobile devices. And again, that's going to depend on the email program you're using. If you're using a template of some sort, whether that program is optimized to be mobile. And if you're not familiar, it's the same thing with websites. Something might look great on a desktop screen, but if it shrinks down to a mobile phone size, it really has to it has to rearrange itself to look correct. And so that's important because, people have no patience. They're not going to try to scroll on a phone to be able to read what you're putting out. Marketers who use segmented campaigns notice as much as a 760% increase in revenue. What's important there is what's the concept of segmented campaigns, and that has to, and we're not going to get into that today. That's a little more involved, but that has to do with targeting you may have an overall campaign, but you might modify it for specific audiences. So really, instead of trying to do one email that fits all, it has to do with customizing it to a smaller, to a subcategory level. And the same thing is true with your lists. Having one big list rather than segmenting them won't be quite as effective. Let's see, 20% of retail, e-commerce, and consumer goods and service companies are personalizing their emails. That's a form of that's what segmenting is all about. And if they know enough about their audiences to know gender, race, and ethnicity, I would say age as well, then that can be effective. And some more information. 99% of email users check their inbox every day, with some checking 20 times a day. I don't know about you guys, but I pretty much do live on my email. It's hard for me to get away with it if it's on my phone and on my computer, and that's where I'm doing my work. And 58% check first thing in the morning, and that is something that I think most of us do. We wake up and, okay, what came in overnight? So there's a little hint for you about timing when people might first see your newsletters or whatever you're sending out. This is interesting, and I feel like it's really true. Emails sent by independent artists, writers, and performers, and I would add to that locally known, shop local type businesses have the highest open rate, followed by education and travel and tourism. I think that the more personal a person feels to the sender, the more apt they are to open it, even if they don't know them directly, but they know of them or they know that they're nearby. That's going to draw their attention a little more. And they probably won't consider it spam either. Okay, so 59% of millennials primarily use their smartphone to check email. 67% Gen Z scans their mobile, just scans the inbox. There's that same stat. I didn't delete it. So now we can get right into email marketing. Email marketing has 3 times the conversion rate as social media. And when you think about it, the number of people that will receive your email and who will open it is always a greater percentage than if you put a post on Facebook. The stats are something like, I don't know, it's just a completely different world. It's hit or miss whether they're ever going to see your post, and then again, whether they're going to care about it. People don't go on their social media every day. Some do, but some don't. Some don't pay attention to notifications. So if they're not there at the time you're sending it, or too much time goes by, they may never see it. This statistic, I found it in 3 different places. For every $1 spent on email marketing, there's a $44 average rate of return on it. And it said $41 in one place, $42 in another place. It's relatively cheap to do email marketing. Constant contacts fees are low. MailChimp, I think, even has a free version. Constant Contact does not have a free version, but it's not expensive. You have to measure the amount of time you're spending creating your email, or what it's costing you to have someone else do it. So that would be what you'd take into consideration, and your list size and the quality of your list too is actually more important than the size as to whether you see results. But it doesn't surprise me that this is the dollar range they're coming up with. Okay, so how do we do it to be effective? So this is just to give you an idea of a template. You make your life easier, for one thing, if you create a template for your email layout and then just reuse it with new content each time you're going to send it. So a template, it makes life easier for you. You put a little bit of time in up front. But it establishes your branding through the color set that you set up, through the fonts that you use and your logo and things like that. The other thing, because it's going to be used, the templates can be used over and over again. It creates brand consistency, if I didn't say that clearly. Which is another foundation to marketing, is when people see you, they start to recognize certain things. When I say see you, see your branding in different places. It strengthens your brand when the colors and the logo and the layout, no matter what the medium, if it's consistent. Now, that doesn't mean you can't have more than one template, or I should say layout. This layout that we're looking at, it looks like it's set up to be about one thing. You might have a template layout for, hey, that we're having a sale. And I don't know, I should ask you guys. I know Eric is in the service business. Noah and Amy, I don't know if you offer services or if you're retailers, if you sell products. Can you let me know that? Because then I'll be able to speak to that if, okay, tutoring services, so you're service oriented as well. Okay, well, I'll speak in general terms. So, so the point is, you might want to do a monthly newsletter where you're sending out something that's more informational, and then once a month, maybe you're sending out something that's today's special, or links to your blog, maybe that are separate from your newsletter. So you might have 2 or 3 different templates depending on what you want to be sending out, but the branding is going to be consistent. It's just the layout might be different. So the components of your email, you've got your header, which is what people typically are seeing in their inbox, is who it's from, what's the subject. Pre-header, some email systems, I don't mean email marketing systems, I mean just email systems. Some show a pre-header, which is, just like on a, excuse me, any other kind of marketing piece, whether it's a press release or something like that, you might have a subtitle. So it doesn't hurt. It's not a bad idea to fill out the pre-header, knowing that some people may or may not see it, but it's just another way to better clarify what your email's about, or to catch their attention. Logo and colors, we pretty much talked about that. You're setting up your branding that way. An image is very eye-catching and will be what they're going to look at first, no matter where you put it. People skip over text. We don't like to read, we like to look at pictures. So so you want an image that catches their attention. Excuse me. However, I will say this: have you ever gotten an email from like a marketing email, and your system doesn't automatically download the pictures, and so all you see are a bunch of links? You don't know what it's about. You have to click download images in order to even see it. And sometimes I just skip over those because I don't want to bother. But so what I try to do, and what I think is a good practice, is to have some text at the top that then encourages them. It doesn't come out and say download the pictures, but because of what you're saying, they're going to want to see the pictures, and they'll take the extra step to download. So that's just my personal opinion on that. And that's the direct and compelling headline. Because it's text, they will see that. And so that's what will prompt them to download, to see the picture, if their system, for security reasons, holds back showing them the picture right up front. Or if it's in their preview, So I know I keep a preview open where I can see emails and decide whether I want to double click and open them up all the way. And then you have your message body, and we're going to get into that a little more. What's your message all about? Call to action, and those work best with a button which links to where you really want them to go. And in most cases, you really want them to go to a landing page, or you want them to go to your website, or you want them to go to a form that they fill out to get more information. So the call to action is asking them to take an action and providing you with information about who they are, so that you know that they didn't just read it, they actually have some further interest. And then you have your footer with all the official information, so they know you're real and they know where to find you. And I highly recommend that, especially if you are providing services locally. Don't hide where you are, how to get to you. Okay. All right. So now we're going to talk about how to grow your email list, how to write your email, how to design your call to action, and then how to send it. And so for growing your email, so I was talking about lists earlier. I call a healthy list a list where people aren't surprised to get something from you. Even better, they want to hear from you. And that makes it healthy. You're not going to get a lot of opt-outs. Opting out is fine. Don't take that personally. We all stop listening to certain emails that come in. But so don't get discouraged with that, but it's who you put in the first place. Getting their permission is not just important, it's pretty mandatory. Even though there's nothing to police it in the United States, Canada and elsewhere, you have to have really strict permission ways to offer permission. And so let me see if we're okay. So think about the last time you signed up for emails. Getting permission is when someone says, I want to get your information. So they do it in a number of ways. Maybe they tell you, they hand you their business card. Handing your business card is considered permission if their email address is on it, because if they're sharing their contact information with you that way, then they shouldn't be surprised if they receive something from you. But you're the better judge of that as to whether you have a business card and that person will remember who you are. Welcome emails. If you put new people into your list, it's not bad to have an automatic welcome letter go out. Welcome. So glad you shared your email address with us. We hope you enjoy our newsletter. Of course, at any time you can opt out with the link below. So, and some customers will actually have that as small print at the top of their email. So you're already dispelling any negativity about receiving your email. You're letting them know somehow you got their email. You hope they like it, but they can opt out, and no feelings, no bad feelings. So, but if someone signs up specifically, whether it's on your website and you have a sign up to receive your newsletter or anything like that, that's permission. And so, yeah, we can all think about how we've done that before. And so in person, like I said, that's the best way to get permission to send send something by email. And if they give you your business card, you might even say, do you mind if I add you to my newsletter? My email newsletter? And they'll probably say, sure, that would be great. Can I add you to mine? Online, like we said, there's always sign up sheets all over the place to get on a mailing list. And then in print, in your brochures or postcards, you can encourage them to also get in touch to sign up for your newsletter. So in person might be when they're making a purchase, although I don't think any of us are really in a store selling. when you're helping someone at events. And so what we're saying is, if you do meet someone for the first time, and maybe it is through your business, the more you let them know in advance that you'd like to send them some information, and put them on your distribution list, the more positive they will be at receiving it. I'm sorry, that using an app. Use an app. There are apps. You can do this on your phone. You can capture people's information with apps. I don't know about MailChimp, but Constant Contact has quite a few app integrations for helping you to build your list. In print, yeah, signage at your store, business cards, flyers, just encouraging them to sign up. And what you can, again, this would be another app, but you can ask them to text to sign up for your newsletter. Online, on your website, social media, your email signature. And your email signature is a great place to promote things. Nobody likes a really huge one, although mine has my logo and it has the link to sign up for Constant Contact. And I can change that every now and then if I want them to click on something else. So your email signature block is a great place. Ask me about our May special. So in this case, you might be asking them to click here to sign up to receive our newsletter. And during their purchase, which doesn't really apply to us. Okay, writing the email. So there's, again, types of emails. I can't see this, it's in my way. So the first one is geared towards nonprofit organizations. And so they're looking for volunteers. So that they're not actually selling something, but they are trying to recruit volunteers. And it's time-based. So they're stating, and you can see that almost before you see anything else, that something is time sensitive here. And that just adds to the sense of urgency, or it's not sense of urgency as much as it is, act now, don't put it off because there's only a certain amount of time we have. Let me go back. And then we've got informational, and this is more like the newsletter idea that I had, that I mentioned earlier, is, providing information. Nobody wants to be sold to all the time. You're going to have better followers if you're providing them with interesting information. So again, whether it's educational that helps them, or it's a follow-up that, they volunteered and here's what you did. So those are two different types of things you might do. Subject line, look what just arrived. So that will pique someone's attention. The pre-header clarifies it a little more. So look what just arrived. It's coming from Southside Cycling. I shop there all the time. So yeah, I've been wanting a new bike. What do you have? That would move people. So get creative with your subject line. Use you or your, and again, Constant Contact gives you the ability to actually personalize the subject line with the person's name. It's like variable, it's a variable field. So if in your list you've identified a first name, you can plug that in and that field into your subject line, and it will personalize it for you. Create a sense of urgency. Make them laugh, pull at their hearts, pique their interest, ask a question, and use numbers. I'm going to be honest, I don't know what the use numbers means. Unless it's, 5 ways to do blah, blah, blah. Ask a question. You do want to be careful with punctuation. You don't want it to look spammy. Don't do the RE colon with something as if you're replying to something they sent. That's spammy. You all know what spam is. You've received it, so just don't do it. Get creative with how you create your subject lines. Here we go. Don't type all in caps. Don't use excessive punctuation and symbols. There you go. Don't do the RE thing. Because the people might consider it spam, but so might the servers in the networks before the person even sees it. Those are telltale spam things. And so it may go right into their junk folder. And there's the pre-header, which again, not everyone has that in the system they use, their actual email system. So that can be useful if it's available. And so same ideas, the pre-header can help do more. You won't want to miss this. Get our 3 secrets to growing your business. Whereas if the subject just said, get our 3 secrets to growing your business, that would work. But you won't want to miss that. Piques their interest a little more. All right, a supporting image. Make sure the images you're using are good, and make sure you're licensed to use them. A lot of these email systems, I'm assuming MailChimp does it. I know Constant Contact does it. If you're using their service, they offer a certain number of free images that you're allowed to use, that they're stock images that have licenses with them. So what you don't want to do is Google search bikes, find a picture you like and use it, because you don't have any idea what the copyright issues are with using a picture that you take from Google, nor is it probably going to be high enough quality to look good. So I highly recommend you use a stock image company or your own photography. Again, make sure it's good quality. You can put video links into many emails, and those are fun to have. Let me see. I don't know if that one works. No, that one doesn't work. But the more, just like any other kind of marketing, the more interesting it is, the more interactive it is, the more the person's going to read it, and things will sink in. All right. So this is for an example for profit, what to say and how to say it, how to streamline your website. So yeah, that's probably something I need to know. And they're going to teach me how to do that. Well, they're going to teach me to a degree, but then I'm going to schedule a consultation to learn more. So you start with what you're offering. If someone's interested, then they're going to go further. If they're not, then it's okay. They're not going to go further, because you're offering website services. And if they don't care, then they don't care. They're not your right audience at that moment. How will it help the reader? And what should they do next? The button, the call to action. So what are you offering? A little more detail about how you can help them. And then what do you want them to do? This is an example for nonprofit. Nonprofit, it's really no different than business. Usually you are still trying to get them to do something. So what are you trying to accomplish? Share your photos and videos from River Cleanup Day. So you want them to do that. That's going to help this nonprofit get more attention. Why should the reader care about what you're asking for? And then how can they get involved? They're going to share their videos. So this is a recap. You want a picture that's nice and grabs their attention, remembering that if their email system doesn't automatically download a picture, you want some kind of text, usually that title, so that it gives them more of an incentive to pull down the picture to look at it. A paragraph or an offer, something that just is brief if you want them to take more action, and then the call to action itself. In this case, it's shop now with a button. So we're going to get more into call to actions because they're very important. If you just send information out about what you do, they're going to read it and that's it. You know, you're expecting, well, gee, they're going to love what I just said. They're going to call me. You want to make it easy, and you want to have it be specific. So if you're trying to get them to purchase something, it's you've been sold to before. Order yours today. They're going fast. Get yours. Schedule a consultation. So that's nice. I think if you're in the service industry, you might even say schedule a free consultation, because most of us offer, an upfront 1 hour to talk, to get to know each other, to find out for them to find out what you have to offer and for you to find out what they need. So some people are afraid to make contact with you because they don't know if it's going to cost them right up front. So even just in the service industry, just offering that free consultation or free phone call or just a phone call, give them a deal. So again, these work well if you're actually trying to sell something, but if your service does offer a discount, then use it. I don't want to say sparingly, but I wouldn't offer it in every single email. And if you are just sharing some information like a link to your blog or the actual blog itself, and there's no real action to take on the information you've sent, then encourage them to connect with you in other ways. And that would be with your social media. Now, email is also a great way to get feedback and reviews. You can create an email that actually gives them the link directly to your Google review page. And I'm happy to share how to do that offline. But I do have clients of mine where we've set up an email, and every time they install something or finish a meeting or whatever it is, they send out a very unintimidating, easy email. And that doesn't necessarily have to come through a program like Constant Contact. It's more of a one-off, but you're saying, hey, and you know what, usually who's really happy with you. So, hey, if you don't mind, would you click here and just leave us a review? And you can do that for Facebook reviews. You can do it for Google reviews. You can do it for any review site. There'll be a URL that you can get them to link to. And then event registrations is another reason to use this. And so you can see some call to actions there. And then it's, directing them. Where did that go? Okay, they're saying go to our Facebook page, apparently, to take action here. And they click it and it looks like it took them to the Facebook page. And now we're on finalizing and sending your email, and you've really done everything. There's 3 questions to writing your content. If it's for-profit business, what are you offering? How will it help them? What should they do? That's your call to action. Nonprofit, very similar. What are you trying to accomplish? Why should the reader care? How can the reader get involved? Now, once you've created your email on your template, you've double checked to make sure you have all the information that you want in there. You've had someone else proof it and actually send a test. So you send a test of your email. Most programs will let you do that. So you're not sending it to your list yet. You can send it to yourself as well, because the way it looks in your email program editor is not necessarily going to be the way it comes through. So you definitely want to take a look at it, and you definitely want a second set of eyes to read it, because usually you don't recognize your own typos. It's harder to catch your own. So you want someone else to make sure you haven't misspelled something, or even give you feedback as to, hey, that sentence doesn't make any sense at all. What are you trying to say there? And so it's good to send a test and a preview. So I just want to go over some offers, because that's all I have to actually teach today, other than through a Q&A section. How are we doing on time? We're getting there. Constant Contact offers a 60-day free trial. So if you don't use the system right now, or you're thinking of changing, you can sign up for a free trial and just play around with it. And I'm happy to help you get that set up and, give you a little bit of coaching. I do offer paid training, which goes into much more in-depth detail, but but if we're do-it-yourselfers, I'll tell you, Constant Contact and MailChimp, I'm sure, has lots of tutorials to help you figure things out. If you are a South Windsor Chamber of Commerce member, and this is not through me, although I do need to set it up for you, but because the Chamber of Commerce is a Chamber of Commerce that uses Constant Contact, they've gotten the ability to give any of their members an additional discount. And so the potential is 25% off of Constant Contact fees. Their fees are based on the number of addresses you have in your list. So let me see, does someone have a question here? Oh, Noah, thank you. Thank you very much. So I can tell you more about the discount, but if you are a member, just know that whether you're already using it and not getting that discount, I can help you get it. I'm also offering to help you set up for free the template that would match your branding. So just for attending this, I'm happy to do that. I enjoy this stuff. It's easy graphic design for me, and I can do it fairly quickly. So just let me know if you want that. And I will email this presentation and the entire HubSpot article, or a link to it anyway, because there's a lot of really cool and interesting statistics about email marketing and mobile phone use that can help you understand or guide you. And so questions and answers, there's my contact information, which I again will share. Amy, thank you for attending. Very good. So I haven't looked at anyone. So is anybody else still here? Is Eric still here? How do I get this back? Hi, Amy. Hi, Eric.
Hi.
Eric's still here. Hi, Eric.
Still here.
You're faithful. You've attended all of our stuff.
I know, right?
That's fantastic. I actually am learning a lot from everybody. So
Good. Do you have any specific questions on email marketing?
ooh. So I was at one of the places that we had talked about for the golf thing. And they had sent in like a marketing thing because you have to use their app in order to pay at the brewery.
Oh,
And they
okay.
immediately send you an email, but it's almost like a how do we do or something like that. It's just you choose a smiley face, and as soon as you click it, then it turns into like a rating scale and does all this stuff. And I was wondering if you've ever seen that and what company developed it.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's probably all different apps that do that. Constant Contact does offer that. It's a survey or a poll. It's not hard to do. That's a form of automated email, which again, I didn't get into that. That's a little more, it's more advanced, but it's also more common. What happened was you gave them your email address, and you may even have entered it electronically. It fed into a list automatically, and there's a trigger that whenever a new contact address gets added to that list, they automatically receive that. And so whether it came to you by text or by email, the programs will specify that. And so it's just an automated email kind of a thing.
Does Constant Contact do that?
Yep. I'm not sure if it does texting. It wouldn't surprise me because Constant Contact has gone way beyond email. It was their core, and it still is their core business, but they offer websites now. They offer social media.
Yeah, I use the social media. It's great.
Yeah.
It's easy.
Yep.
I can share on LinkedIn. I use LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram, and Twitter, and it goes to all those. So I definitely use that.
So not only do they offer surveys,
Landing page, there's like a bunch of stuff. Yeah.
Yep, sign up forms, and not just necessarily by email. So so I don't know, Eric, if at some point you want to learn a little more about what they offer, I'm happy to sit with you and go over it. Like I said, I have to go through training every year because I can't keep up with them. They're always coming out with new services. And I can give you my opinion as to whether, you don't necessarily have to put all your eggs in one basket. Sometimes it's easier if you use one tool to do all the different kinds of marketing for you, it may be easier. But there may be, I'm not going to talk negatively, but there may be better places to get a website done than Constant Contact. It is definitely set up to be something for do-it-yourselfers, except it's not necessarily easy. It depends on how much time you have to devote to marketing yourself. So, and how quickly you pick up the technology. But Amy, I mean, had you used it before you came to the chamber, Amy?
No,
And you picked it up pretty quickly, but
yeah,
you
I'm pretty good with that kind of stuff.
and you also though got better and better at the more you did it.
Yeah, and then like it kept having more features, like
Yep.
like the social media stuff. I don't think I had that in the beginning, or I didn't know how to use it, but yeah, I kept exploring and more
Right.
templates, and yeah,
Yep.
it's definitely user friendly. I mean, I tried to use MailChip. I had to send something out for my mom, and I hated it. So I'm just so used to Constant
Yeah.
Contact. I'm like, get me out of here.
Yeah.
But,
And I'm the same way. I don't like that system.
I'm just
and
not used to it. I don't want to knock it. I'm not used to it. So
yeah.
I
Part of
like
it's that.
Constant Contact.
I also trust Constant Contact the most because of how strict they've been with people's lists and sends. And I trust that my emails are getting there, and they've got excellent reporting. So now you can still use even your own email system, Outlook or whatever. You won't be able to do the graphics the same way, but some of the principles are still there. But you also can't send to a whole lot of people at once.
And I like how you can see who viewed it. Like sometimes I'll go, the newsletter, see how many people viewed it and how many people clicked on buttons,
Right.
and which buttons they clicked on, and
who,
how many people went
actually,
to the golf tournament thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Ascend by Wix. No, I haven't. Have you used it?
Not really. I've been trying to, but it's not that great.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be happy to take a look and let you know whether you'd find Constant Contact a lot easier. It's just some of the systems are limited with what they can do too. So Constant Contact just came out with yet another improvement to their editor to make it even easier. So a lot of it's just what they call drag and drop. You pull over what you want and it's there, and it does certain things automatically, like sizing things for you, so that you're not dealing with figuring out the best size of your picture before you upload it that you want to use. So Eric, we can go over more of this specifically if you want some time.
Yeah, I would definitely like to.
Okay. And what else? Anything else that I should go over? Or Amy, do you have any questions? Because you use it a lot. You're probably as good as I am on it at this point.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty good. The one thing that I guess I can say annoys me is with the polls. I wish you could like have people submit their own like text. It's only yes or no, right? Like if I
Well,
wanted
the
to
survey,
send-
you can create a survey.
yeah, but when you like have it right in the email, you can do like the polls like yes or no, but you can't like be like, well, type in
comments
something.
free form. I'll have to
Yeah.
look at that. Yeah, you
I
might
mean, it's
be
not a
a-
huge deal. It's like you said, you can just make a survey and send
Yeah.
that on stuff. But
yeah, they're meant to be just quick little things, whereas a survey is and they improved their survey tool. That used to be really difficult to work with. And they've made the editor easier for that.
that's good because I think I heard I saw somewhere that somebody said like Survey Monkey isn't free anymore or something. I don't know if that's true, but
yeah, I doubt it's
another-
free.
that's just another good thing that Constant Contact has.
Right. Yep. Yeah. Now, depending on whether you just want email marketing or you want all those other features, for someone like Eric, there's different costs. The chamber, you guys, I think because you're a chamber, I don't even think you pay for it.
Yeah, I think it's free. Yeah.
Yeah,
You get
and
everything. I mean, the storage is like, I've looked at it and we're like, there's so much left and there's like a lot of stuff saved from years and years. So
Right.
whatever we have is a good one.
Yeah, no, I get, yeah, everyone gets a huge amount of media storage. So
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's a lot.
you don't have to worry about old things not being there anymore. You can reuse.
Yeah, I went in one day. I was like, well, I should probably delete some of these pictures from like 5 years ago. And I'm like, I'm not even close to halfway. I'm not even close to that.
Yeah.
So just leave it.
Right. Yep. Yep.
But yeah, I like it.
Good. Eric, anything else you'd like to talk about?
No, I think that covers a little bit of it for me. I'm still trying to learn everything.
Yeah, so with Alban, you've been on a lot of different marketing things here, and I mean, how's your business going? Do you feel like you're on top of handling the marketing part of it?
Oh no, not anymore.
No?
So first off, I'm horrible at it. Because I've basically for the last 10 years basically tried to eliminate myself from the internet.
Oh,
So that's a new thing that once you kind of own the business like this, you kind of got to put yourself out there now. So that changed a lot for me about learning how to market and put yourself out there and stuff. So
yeah.
it's all brand new to me. And I'm really trying to get a grasp on it. I did have a small, I would say a small hold on it. But then I just got too busy. So now it's just kind of slipping away.
Well, yeah, and you do balance your marketing with, how much you're doing your work. I mean, you may be the kind of business where you get a lot of referrals and you may not need to put as much effort into different kinds of marketing. So that can happen. So, I mean, email marketing, there is a certain amount of time commitment to it. Even if you were to have someone else do it for you, you need to think of monthly, what are the topics that have to go out?
Right.
It's a time. So you want to decide, and I can talk to you about that no cost as well, is like, is email marketing even right for you? It depends on who your audience is and what you're trying to accomplish. It can be a way to stay in touch with your clients if that's important and your clients need to feel like they're hearing from you. It can be more efficient to send out one thing to everybody, once a month, so they know you're still there. And, maybe you're sending out fraud tips or whatever, how to stay safe, that kind of thing.
Right.
So it could be useful that way for you. And that's kind of marketing, but it's also customer service or keeping your relationship. So it may have a place there. But anyway, okay. Well, thank you very much, Eric, for hanging in till the end.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank
Hey,
you for everything. And